Colombia was founded on July 20, 1810. Colombia emerged like the other Latin American countries as an anti-white decline of political independence as a result of the Napoleonic invasion of the Iberian Peninsula. After the sections of Venezuela and Ecuador in 1830, the country experienced various civil wars until the so-called Thousand Day War between 1899 and 1902. In the last 40 years, Colombia has lived through the Coca War, which facilitated the occupation of half of the territory by the FARC at the end of the last century and contaminate the institutions. Gold mines and primary products such as tobacco and cinchona were the foundation of the economy until the coffee cycle began in the last quarter of the 19th century. Grain was a pillar of the economy until half a century ago, but for 9 decades there has been investment in industry, and since the post-war period, the policy of protection of national production, promoted by the Economic Commission for Latin America, has prospered. The Latin America debt crisis induced the opening of the economy, which put an end to thick exchange rate. But since the poor public management, the industrialized the country.
Colombia emerged like the other Latin American countries except Cuba and Puerto Rico, as a unit with the claim of political independence as a result of the Napoleonic invasion of the Iberian Peninsula. After the secession of Venezuela and Ecuador in 1830, the country experienced various civil wars until the so-called Thousand Days War between 1899 and 1902. The main cause of the wars was the struggle between Bogota and its affiliates of the rest of the country. The federal order under the so-called Granadina Confederation of 1858 and then under the United States of Colombia was very unstable. This opened the way for Rafael Núñez's project to establish political centralization with administrative decentralization in 1886. The death of Jorge Eliezer Gaitán, 1948. It was one of the most important historical events in Colombia. At last there was a good politician, and then, in the midst of so much fervor, 3 bullets hit him and ended his life. Who did it? It is not relevant, but yes, the Bogotazo, the uprising of indignant Colombians, and the creation of guerrillas with a heroic philosophical purpose that transcendent to this day, distorted and distorted. Gabriel García Márquez, Nobel Prize in Literature, October 21, 1982. A plain and simple Colombian, master of letters, won one of the most important awards that the history of the world has conceived. A Colombian, Colombia was winning more than ranks. I was gaining something significant in culture and the arts, a Nobel Prize. The Tragedy of Armero, November 30, 1985. Ash fell from the sky and warnings for active volcano were ignored. And so from one moment to another, that ash became a black rain while a sea of volcanic lava would disappear and enter town. The Armero tragedy was a fact that proved the existence that there is nothing greater than natural itself.
When the Spanish arrived in the 15th century, the great indigenous families populated the Colombian territory. The Chipchap culture, located in the highlands and cold areas of the center of the country, and the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta. The Arawak in the regions of the Amazon, Putumayo, and Caquetá rivers.
The Barranquilla Carnival is a folkloric and cultural event in Colombia. Begins on the Saturday before Ash Wednesday and ends on the Tuesday of that week. The Barranquilla Carnival is an event in which all the cultural variants and folklore of the Colombian Caribbean coast are expressed, as well as the most varied local manifestations such as popular music and dance. The many customs that invoke all kinds of animal species, native and stranger, are cause for laughter and fright. African blacks, big heads, insane dolls, superheroes, mythologic beings who transcend the limits of sexuality and death, among an almost endless number of invitations and popular occurrences. The Flower Fair is a traditional festive mass event that is celebrated every year in the city of Medellin, Colombia. Medellin during these days offers a wide variety of events and shows, not all related to flowers, but all the reveille bears that general name of Feria de las Flores. Science flowers are the main setting of the festivities at the same time that offer the most striking and beautiful shows and essence, also unique in the world. Vallenato Festival is the most important event in Vallenato. It is held annually at the end of April or beginning of May in Valledupar and is organized by the Vallenata Legend Festival Foundation, which ensures the defense and dissemination of folk and popular expressions than sonoro vallenato music. The Vallenato Festival presents folk music and various types of cultural events.
Camp Nou. Camp Nou is a sports venue owned by Football Club Barcelona, located in the Los Coast district of the city of Barcelona, the country of Spain. It was inaugurated on September 24, 1954, and its currently capacity is 99,300
and 54 spectators. Begin is the stadium with the largest capacity in Europe and the fourth capacity in the world. The Royal Palace of Madrid, also called the Royal Palace is the East, is the official residence of the King of Spain. However, the current kings do not live in it, but in the Palacio de Zarzuela, which it is used for state ceremonies and solemn acts, with area of the 135,000 square meters and 3,418 rooms. It is the largest royal palace in Western Europe. Basilica of the Sagrada Family. It is considered one of the most impressive Catholic basilics in the world. Designed by the architect Antoni Gaudí in the works began in the 1882, and it is completion is scheduled for 2026. Events of every year, millions of visitors are amazed at it.
Arturo Pérez Reverte Gutiérrez, Cartagena, Spain, 69 years old, is a Spanish writer and journalist, member of the Royal Spanish Academy since 2003, former RTVE correspondent and prominent reporter in various armament conflicts and wars. He is the author, amongst others, from the saga The Adventures of Captain Alestrid and the Falco trilogy. Carmen Chaparro Martinez, Salamanca, Spain, 48 years old, is a Spanish journalist and writer. In 2017, she obtained the Primavera de Novel Award for I Am Not a Monster, her first book. Evelio Acevedo, with legal training and in communication and corporate responsibility, he began his professional career at Banco Santander. In 2012, he was appointed managing director of the Fundación Colección Thyssen-Bornemisza,